Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna do a little bit more buffer weight testing on this Palmetto AR-10. Okay, so this is the PA-10 Gen 3. Okay, so what I've done with this, let me give you guys a backstory. Initially, when I ordered this gun, I just got the lower from Palmetto. Okay, and the reason why I even got into AR-10s is because they had the lower on sale for like $200. And I wasn't even intending to buy the upper anytime soon, but you know they hooked me pretty good by selling me the lower at a bargain. So the lower, okay, is basically it's a carbine lower, okay, which means the buffer tube is shorter. Now the upper, okay, it is a rifle. It's a 20-inch. It's a 20-inch barrel, right, and it has a rifle length gas system, right. So the gas block's up here. It's an adjustable gas block, and it's full length. It comes all the way back here. So now again, this is not only is this my first AR-10, but it's also my first 20-inch AR. So initially, I'm thinking I got a carbine lower, and I've got a rifle length upper gas system. These two are probably not going to fit together very well. I mean, I knew they would fit together, but I'm thinking that the two might not be compatible. So I'm like, why on earth does Palmetto like not sell a rifle length lower, right? Why do they have the carbine lower? So anyway, I said, you know what? Let me get it, and then it's probably just an issue of adjusting the buffer weights or the springs to make it work. So anyway, I got, I've got the lower within 3 days. I got the upper, which wasn't initially my intention, but I ended up getting the 20-inch upper. I got the gun and I'm shooting it, and it works great. Okay, no problems. I'm able to basically it has an adjustable gas system. It comes in position 12 out of 17. It was running at 4. It was actually even running at 3. 4, 5, it runs like 100% reliable, right? In position 5 out of 17. So, but what I had done is, because when I ordered this, I was a little unsure how well these two would match up. I ordered a Core Valley 5.6 ounce heavier buffer weight, right? The one that comes in it is 3.8 ounces. So I ordered the heavier buffer weight, the 5.6 ounces, and I ordered the Sprinkle orange spring, right? The heavy, it's a heavier spring. So I'm like, okay, that's going to make the gun work even well. My primary thought is I'm trying to. I mean, I initially I saw that the gun was working fine, so I'm now thinking that with the heavier buffer weight and the heavier spring, I might get some extra recoil reduction. Okay, so I've had this now in for a few days. I've been shooting it. I have not been able to either feel a difference, or when I'm shooting at distance, my reticle reacts the same on the target when I pull the trigger. Right, I still get the same jump. I don't want to put a muzzle brake on this, so I was trying to control it from the back, from the buffer weight and the buffer spring. So I'm putting in the extra weight. I'm putting in the extra buffer spring. I'm not seeing a difference. One of my viewers actually sent me a link to a video with regards to AR-15 buffer weights and buffer springs, and this guy was very knowledgeable. And one of the things that this person made very clear in the video is the purpose of the buffer weight is just to slow down the bolt, okay? And the purpose of or rather the purpose of a heavier buffer weight is to slow down the bolt. If you put a lighter one, it's going to speed up the bolt. The purpose of the spring is just to push the bolt forward and make sure it locks, okay? And the point that this person made was that by putting in a heavier buffer weight, just for the sake of putting in the heavier buffer weight, all you're doing is, because now you've got this extra weight that's moving back and forth, there's actually a lot more movement, a lot more mass moving back and forth inside the gun, which can actually make the gun even less stable and make it move around a lot more. The thing I saw immediately with the heavier spring, with the orange sprinkle spring that I put in here, is that it takes a lot more effort to charge it, which means that it's stressing out the charging handle. Now, one of the things I figured out pretty quickly is that on an AR-10, okay, the weakest link is the charging handle, right? Because we're almost always putting either a magnifier or a scope on this, and we're always like charging this one-sided. So what that does is it torques the charging handle to one side or the other, which is going to basically make it break faster. And I have broken several AR-15 charging handles, which have even a lot less pressure than this. And the AR-10 charging handle is like the material itself isn't that much stronger, and if anything, it's longer, so it is probably more vulnerable than an AR-15 charging handle. So my thinking is that I need to go back to the buffer weight and the buffer spring that Palmetto shipped this in. And the reason, and now that I've had some experience behind this gun and done a lot more research, what I've come to realize is the reason why Palmetto gives you a Carbine Lower is, and they basically tell you can match it up to either a 16-inch, an 18-inch, or a 20-inch barrel of mid-length or rifle-length gas system, is because they give you a gas valve that has 17 positions, right? It's 3 slots per turn for a total of 17 positions. So Palmetto addresses that problem through the adjustable gas valve. The reason why on AR-15s a lot of times we're tinkering with the buffer weights back here is because we don't have an adjustable gas system, so we have no other choice other than putting it in the gas adjust system. We're tinkering with the buffer weights. But Palmetto fixed that problem. They already addressed that by just giving us an adjustable gas system. So what I believe I was doing was I was looking for a solution to a problem that did not exist, okay? And I've actually created a problem in the sense that this charging handle gets stressed out a lot, and it's going to break a lot sooner. So what I'm going to do now, because I have the heavier buffer spring in here, and I have the heavier buffer weight, the Core Valley 5.6. I'm going to fire 3 shots. It's going to be like the last test. Yeah. I'm going to fire 3 shots with the heavier buffer weight and the heavier spring. And then I'm going to put in the original parts, and I'm going to fire 3 shots. And unless I can see a difference right here, right now, shooting at 100 yards, like on my reticle, on this dot moving, I'm going to leave the original parts in there. Okay, so that's what my plan is for today. So, put my ears on. Safety's on. It's starting to get dark, so we're going to lower this red dot as much as we can. A little bit more than that. Okay, good. So we're going to fire 3 shots and then throw in the original ones and fire another 3 shots. Yeah. I'm just going to pull the whole thing apart so I can change this easier. Man, these AR-10s are freaking front heavy. I love this 20-inch, but I already got it in my mind to also get a 16-inch. Okay. Some of the orange shit, because this had the orange coil over here. I can see some of it already came off in here. Some of that orange paint. Okay. So This is the Core Valley one. It is beautiful, man. It is beautiful. The stainless steel Core Valley 5.6 buffer. Okay, so this is the original one that came with it. It says PA-10 on it, and the recoil spring has a white color. It is about the same length. It's a lot easier to charge. So we don't lose stuff. I'm going to put this back. I'm going to hold on to this because, you know, down the road, you never know where and how I might use this. Where'd the cap go? Yeah, whatever, I'll find it afterwards. All right, so we got this gun together. Let's lock it open. Yeah, it's definitely a lot less effort on the charging handle. All right, so we're going to take 3 shots. And unless it's like, because I've been shooting this gun now for a couple of days with that heavier buffer weight and that heavier recoil spring. Unless I shoot this and I see a difference, I'm just staying with what came with the gun. The recoil might have been a little bit more, but I'm still able to stay on target. Like, I got my dot here, and I'm still like, boom. Like, if I have this, because the way you're supposed to do it is 2 fingers on the stock, the other 2 fingers on the bag. If I keep everything where it's supposed to be, I mean, yeah, there's recoil, but I never actually, like my dot never comes off the target. It'll lift up a little bit. You know something? I'm just going to stay with the original. Guys, I'm not sure. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to put back the heavier buffer weight and the heavier spring because I'm thinking about it, and now it's feeling like maybe it was heavier. I mean, whatever it is, it's just a small difference. So we're really nitpicking. You certainly don't need to change it. We're gonna take another 3 shots. Let's go back to the heavier stuff. You know, so the first time I did this, I put the orange in the front. I'm gonna put this in the back now because I'm getting like orange stuff, like this orange paint is coming off, and that's actually like closer to like the trigger group. So I'd rather have the orange paint in the back of the buffer. All right, let's get you back in there. Alright, look at that. Yeah, this is a heavier spring, man. I'm actually fighting to get it in. There we go. Alright, let's give this another 3 shots. Put you back here. So this is the original one. The original buffer spring, buffer weight and buffer spring. Let's put you back over there. We're going to take 3 shots. So this is the only way to figure this shit out. You just got to do it. Okay. So the reason why I'm doing like, because you might be like, why am I not just blasting right here? The whole point here is I'm trying to figure out which way is it easier for me to keep my dot on my target when I pull the trigger. You know, how do I get the least movement? it's easier. Yeah. Yeah, we're staying with this. We're staying with the heavier buffer weight and this sprinkle orange spring. It's a small difference, but it's there. It's the recoil, the recoil, the amount that it moves off the target. It is easier.